Adrian College Television would like to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Carlton Lodge of Adrian. Carlton Lodge is sponsoring all ACTV broadcasts during the 2021 to 2022 school year. Located at 1629 West Maumee in Adrian, Carlton Lodge offers comfortable rooms and suites at affordable rates. There's also a heated indoor and outdoor pool, along with a 24-hour fitness center. Thank you for the continued support toward Adrian College Television.
Crosses over, back onto the far side. Rips a shot, she scores! I'm Matt Kibbe, the current student body president here at Adrian College. I chose AC because the campus simply feels like home. Everywhere I go, I know the amenities are there to help me succeed and get to the next level in my career. If you want to see what Adrian College has to offer, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College has dozens of athletics programs, and winning is a staple on our campus. We have the culture of winning in and out of the classroom. This is a place where young men and women grow into professionals for life. Are you interested in learning more about the Bulldog experience? Visit adrianbulldogs.com and the Recruit Me tab to be recruited to play your sport of choice today. If you have what it takes, you could be a Bulldog in no time.
Adrian College has once again been recognized for its commitment to engaged, experiential education by Colleges of Distinction, a one-of-a-kind guide for college-bound students. While higher education has changed over the past 20 years, Colleges of Distinction's selection process has stayed consistent in accepting only those that adhere to the 4 distinctions: engaged students, great teaching, vibrant community, and successful outcomes. Overlaid in the last few years have been a look into high-impact practices. They believe most critical to the student experience were the kinds of engaging experience that are found at Adrian College. To learn more, please visit adrian.edu.
Welcome to Adrian, Michigan. We're located in a proud college town. Adrian College is situated just 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, Detroit, and Toledo. We're very excited to show you just a little bit of what AC has to offer. This is the gateway to our campus. Welcome to the place that we believe will change the rest of your life. AC features one of the most well-rounded educational experiences in the country. We offer over 60 different academic majors and 10 academic institutes, as well as dozens of student organizations. Year after year, we've been ranked as one of the nation's best colleges, including being one of the most innovative institutions in the U.S. for our medical programs. Our campus is simply beautiful. Our student-to-faculty ratio is an incredible 13-to-1. That means more attention for you and a much better overall learning environment. We know how to put together an education that is life-changing, and these are just some of the highlights. From our communication arts program, to our many performing arts, to the home of business on campus, to our sciences and medical studies, we have the spaces where you can grow into the professional that you want to become. Our first-year student experience is award-winning. You'll make lifelong friends here, meet mentors, and maybe even meet that special someone. The Kane Student Center is open 24 hours a day, and there's a lot going on here. The Bulldog Beanery has all of your hot drinks. Pause and Go is our on-campus convenience store. The bookstore is where you'll get all of your Bulldog gear, and you can just hang out and study in the skyboxes. Not far away is the Shipman Library. The Shipman has quiet, relaxing spaces for you to study in. You can check out books from thousands of libraries around the country, and the Shipman is open 24 hours as well for your convenience. There are hundreds of learning opportunities on campus. In addition to the arts and beautiful facilities, Adrian College is known for its athletic programs. There is nothing like a Saturday game day here in Adrian. The Bulldog football team are 11-time MIAA champions. At Docking Stadium, fans watch soccer, lacrosse, football, and more. Just a few hundred yards away, Adrian College's basketball teams compete. In addition to basketball, fans can enjoy wrestling, acro and tumbling, and volleyball here. We also have a state-of-the-art weight room available to all of our students. When things heat up too much on campus, you can cool off with our ice sports. Our NCAA ice hockey teams are constantly battling in the national playoffs. Just a quick walk down the service drive, we feature one of the best baseball and softball programs in the nation at our level. Soon you'll be able to cross the street and watch men's and women's rugby take to the pitch as well. Our rowing, crew, and top-ranked bass fishing programs compete out of the Adrian College Boathouse, a gorgeous facility just a 15-minute drive north on Devil's Lake. Our students know how to relax in their downtime. When they're not out and about, we have dozens of housing options on campus. With apartments right in the mix of things, you can pick what works best for you. We've also recently renovated a few of our housing options. Adrian College is a Methodist-affiliated institution that has been changing lives since 1859. The modern liberal arts education offered by our faculty is unrivaled. We can't wait to have you on campus and show you around. Visit adrian.edu to schedule a full campus visit today. We'll see you soon.
What if you didn't choose to become an Adrian College Bulldog? Surely you would have carried on with your education and could potentially be graduating elsewhere. But what would you have the honor of greeting Bruiser on campus? Would you have had the privilege of working alongside faculty that know your name? Would you have had the opportunity to learn and grow in an environment that is seeking the truth and dignity in all people? Would you have had a creative learning environment that is supportive of challenging you and achieving excellence in your academics, but also your personal and professional lives? This has been Adrian College's promise to us. Just as our families have promised to love us unconditionally and support us through the many peaks and valleys of our lives, Adrian offered a similar promise to us when they realized our potential by asking us to join them. While we have been busy navigating the many what-ifs of our time, none of which we could have imagined, we have indeed found the cane that holds our ribbons of excellence at Adrian to stand strong. Strength and tradition. A tradition that carries on from graduating class to graduating class. A symbolic reminder of the leadership carrying the motto, no victory without work. The Adrian College class of 2021 can proudly proclaim that we have earned our ribbon of excellence for persevering through a pandemic because of our hard work. We have had to learn how to best navigate the many what-ifs in uncharted times. While some of the what-ifs have been answered, it is now up to each of us to embrace and navigate on our own. What if I take that job? What if I decide to continue on for postgraduate endeavors? What if I decide this? What if I decide that? No matter what, you'll be able to face your tomorrow knowing that you are a member of a pack, the Adrian College Bulldogs class of 2021.
Part of the family here at Adrian College are the friends we've made. These friends have gone to games with you, shared late night tales with you, explored downtown with you, and joked around with you at Ritchie. They were in the library with you at midnight studying for the 8 a.m. exam you forgot to study for. And they're there when you cried because you failed that exam. These friends are your new family members now. You will stay in touch with them forever, even if it's just liking their Facebook post about the new puppy they just got. Parents, family, and friends, we cannot thank you enough for everything you have done for us. Thank you for the support and the opportunity for this moment to graduate from Adrian College. You have helped us reach our dreams and goals in life. Congratulations, class of 2021. We finally made it.
Adrian College has once again found itself on the 2022 U.S. News & World Report Best College Rankings. This is the 8th straight year that Adrian has been named to the top regional colleges Midwest section. Adrian College was also named the most innovative school in the regional colleges Midwest category. In addition, Adrian received accolades in Best Value in undergraduate teaching within regional colleges Midwest. Adrian College was also named in the top first-year experiences by U.S. News & World Report. This marks the 13th consecutive year that Adrian has appeared in U.S. News & World Report. To see the full rankings, visit their website. For more information on Adrian College, visit adrian.edu.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm Adrian Hughes, and I'm a senior in the class of 2021.
My name is Megan Abbey. I'm from the class of 2021.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Parisi, and I'm the class of 2021.
Wow. As far as working for ACTV, the first thing that comes to mind is honestly the community. Like, the people that I work with are amazing, all the way down from Jay at the top to the last guy that only gets to work one stream a week. It's just the energy that is around is always awesome.
It's a perk that you get free access to the games, but I absolutely love it. We have a great culture here, and then I was able to work my way up to a student director position, but I get so much creative freedom. I get to work in arenas and sports and environments that I absolutely love and enjoy.
ACTV has brought so many experiences and memories that I'll take with me to grad school and even beyond. It's been such a blessing to be a part of the team, and everyone's just so welcoming, and I've learned so much directing and using the camera and many other things.
If you do want to get into this stuff, I say do it, and do it quickly with ACTV, because not only is it a great community, but you'll also learn a lot and be prepared for the future.
I think what I'm going to miss most about ACTV that's not the free software that I get as a student would definitely be the people and the culture that we have here. Just the connections that I've made, the students that we have, just the family that we have here. I'm definitely going to miss everyone a lot.
I'm going to miss everyone. I think everyone's just been so great. I love the atmosphere. It's definitely another family away from home. I think directing is going to be something I miss, but just interacting with everyone during our meetings on Tuesdays, and just the atmosphere, I think, is going to be the biggest thing.
DJ, Megan, Caitlin, I know I told you this was going to be a promo about ACTV. Well, it's actually a promo about you guys. Your leadership as seniors has helped me guide the program since taking over at the beginning of January. I would not have been able to do it without you three. Now, I know your time is done with ACTV at the end of the semester, but I know you're going to do so many great things in your future endeavors. I wish you the best of luck.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
Bulldog fans, connect with Adrian College TV on social media to be updated when we're broadcasting live, to see highlights, plays of the week, and much more. Adrian College Television is on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ACTV's handle is at Adrian College TV on every form of social media. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing to the home of the Bulldogs, Adrian College TV.
And welcome to this year's Bob and Jean Locke Freligh Community Lecture Series. My name is Jim Mahoney, and I'm the Vice President for Development. 10 years ago, an anonymous donor made a gift to the college to support an annual lecture series. The donor had two stipulations. The first was that the lecture series recognized two very influential people in the donor's life, Bob and his late wife, Jean Locke Freligh. The second stipulation was that the lecture series be free and open to the greater Adrian community in addition to the campus community. Thus was born the Bob and Jean Locke Freligh Community Lecture Series. We are honored this evening to have the family of Stone Fultz join us and share with us this very important story of Stone. But first, it is my pleasure to introduce President Jeffrey R. Docking to begin this evening's event. President Docking.
Welcome, everybody, friends, coaches, people from the community, but mostly the students. I've been here for 17 years as the president of Adrian College, and this is the first time that I've ever asked for this type of program to happen. The backstory is this, that sometime around mid-October, I was in a meeting with our athletic director, Mike Duffy, who told me that he had seen something the day before that had really scared him. And all of you know Duff, he doesn't get scared easily. He's been here for 44 years. And I could tell that this really worried him. And I said, what was it? And he said, I saw a video yesterday that was passed on to me from a hazing incident from one of our athletic teams. And he said, and it was dangerous. It was really dangerous. The amount of drinking, the activities, the sort of groupthink that surrounded it, he said it was horrible to watch. And it was at that moment that I said, we're going to do a program. We cared too much about all of you, each and every one of you. And we want you to get educated, but more than that, we want you to be safe. And you know, I go home every night, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, but I'm not dumb. And I know that there's parties going on, and I know that things are happening, and I know that it doesn't always take a lot for things to get out of control. And I don't want to have this program tonight. And I dare say that these people didn't want to present this program tonight because they lost a son from a situation that Mike could have seen in that video. And certainly on the heels of COVID and everything that you guys have been through over the last 2 years, which has been a lot, this is not how I want to lead into spring break. But the alternative, in my mind, was that Mike call me next week or next month or next, semester and say, we lost a kid. And I have to think to myself, why didn't we do this program? This program's going to be heavy. It's going to be sad at times. It's going to hopefully make you think about how to live your life at this college in a way that you're never sitting up giving this type of presentation. And so just know that this comes from our heart to you, everyone in this room, and I know we have several people on the stream over in the chapel right now. And I hope that you'll listen and really feel how they feel. Because at the end of the day, we could give you all kinds of statistics about hazing. We could tell you students that have passed away for many years from hazing incidents or been permanently affected by it. Or you can just hear what it's like for a family to go through this. Because my hope, my prayer, is that if any one of you are in this situation at this school or any time afterwards, that maybe you'll be the one to go, you remember when we went to that program? We can't do this. We cannot do this. We've got to stop. Okay? So that's why we're here. And now I'm going to turn the program over to the Stone family. We have Stone's mom, Sherry, who's going to be first. I think she's going to introduce the video. And her dad, Corey, is up here as well. And then there's several other family members and friends either on stage or in the audience. So, Sherry? Please come up.
Thank you, President Docking, for inviting our family to share our story. Picture behind me is our last family vacation together. Please take note of Stone, no shirt. I am Sherry Fultz, and I have my family here with us. We have our family here as well as our friends and partners in helping us eradicate hazing. My husband, Corey, our 2 children, AJ and Jersey, my sister, DJ Williams, Maddie's Borja, Stone's girlfriend, and our friend and legal advisor, Rex Elliott. We have a few videos to share and some information about dangerous effects of hazing and substance abuse. Our goal today and every day is to save lives, yours, a friend's, or a stranger's. So let's get started. Our story is today about our firstborn son, Stone Justin Fultz. He was 20 years old, about 5'10", 150 pounds. He had blue eyes, sandy blonde hair, sometimes black, sometimes brown, sometimes straight, sometimes curly. He loved playing basketball and taking care of his physical health by working out each day. He was a gentle, kind, quiet soul who could bring a smile to your face just by walking into a room, usually without his shirt on. He was a student at Bowling Green State University, studying business, as he had dreams of owning his own clothing line. He loved the latest fashion. He loved luxury brands, including the top-of-the-line shoes. One day in February 2021, he told us he planned on joining a fraternity to expand his network and his friends. As part of the pledging process, he was required to do things for the Brotherhood that fully prevented him from focusing on his schoolwork, and we definitely sensed something was wrong and that he was stressed. He told me that he had to go do one more activity. On the night of March 4th, 2021, Stone was hazed and forced to drink a large amount of alcohol at a fraternity ritual that had been passed down from generations called the Big Little Night. Behind me here is a few examples of hazing. It doesn't just involve drinking, it involves many other things. You might have to carry cigarettes for an officer. He smokes a specific brand. You have to make sure that you're carrying that specific brand. Otherwise, you're going to get in trouble. That's hazing. They can do threats, yelling, screaming to do certain things. That's hazing. You have to get signatures. The more signatures you have, the better it looks for you. Those signatures help you to get into the fraternity. Those signatures can be something as little as being the designated driver that night for your officers. Hazing can lead up to there are little things that can lead up to big events. So don't think that you doing something little, it's no big deal. It is. Please start the video.
What is your emergency?
Hi, someone that we know is non-responsive. He drank alcohol, like a lot of alcohol, so his face is really purple, and his pupils aren't responsive.
Okay, are you positive he's breathing?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Do you see his chest rising up and down?
No, not right now.
Okay, and he's blue?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's a good chance he's not breathing. I want you to get down. Is he on the floor?
She said, does you see his chest rising? I don't see it rising, guys.
Okay, do you know how to do CPR, or do you want me to walk you through it?
Wait! Oh, my God.
Okay, listen to me, Maddie. You need to help your friend. Calm down.
Okay. She said, I don't see his chest going up and down.
Do you see his chest?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Is it rising
or
not?
Oh, my God. No.
We are learning a Bowling Green University student from Delaware County has died after an alleged hazing incident.
It was a life cut short, the alcohol-related hazing death of a college student in Ohio last month.
8 young men are facing criminal charges in the death of a 20-year-old student at Bowling Green State University. Officials say it was the result of a booze-fueled fraternity hazing party, a problem that has plagued colleges for decades.
So I just got this a couple weeks ago. It has his ashes in it and then his name on it. So I feel like I'm closer to him. Stone was the oldest of 3. He has always been a caring individual. He was super kind. He was always looking out for his brother and sister. He always put others first.
He was the person I would call at 4:30 in the morning if I was upset about anything. He was very gentle, very supportive, and he would call me every single day on my way home to make sure I got home safely.
As any parent, you're wanting your kids to start to grow up and make their own decisions. As a dad, I was proud. He was growing up to be an independent young man.
Stone, a sophomore business major who chose to pledge a fraternity in February after deciding not to his freshman year. The initiation process was beyond anything Stone's parents, Sherry and Corey, expected.
It's just as simple as that. It's abuse. It's forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do.
Tonight, Stone Fultz's family says the 20-year-old was apprehensive before he left for an alleged drinking event at a Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity house. A roommate of a fellow pledge telling a local station that pledges were expected to drink a full handle of alcohol, roughly 40 shots, before they could leave.
You know, obviously it was late at night, asleep, and both of us, as any parents, have their phones beside their bed, and we hear our phones ring.
So when I redialed the number, it was the sheriff's office. And they said, "Are you Stone's mom?" And I said, "Yes." They said he was cardiac arrest. So I threw the phone down and I threw it at Corey because I immediately knew what was going on.
So imagine as a parent, when your son and daughter gets hurt, you immediately run over. And if it's a scratch on the leg, you're putting a Band-Aid on it. If it's a skinned up elbow, you're kissing it, and you're helping them immediately. We had 2 hours. We had a 2-hour drive ahead of us.
So the first time I saw him, with all the tubes, I told him I would not let this happen to anybody else. It was the one thing I knew we could do. And we would do it. And I told him that we would make sure that no one would have to go through what he went through.
Governor DeWine has announced new guidelines to protect students at Ohio universities from hazing. The parents of Stone Fultz, the Bowling Green student killed after a hazing incident, were at the State House for that announcement.
This is a very important day.
We saw his parents, the governor, Inter-University Council of Ohio, and all the public university presidents of Ohio stand together and announce new guidelines to fight hazing. One of the guidelines getting the most attention is a zero-tolerance approach. That's something that the Fultz family has been fighting for. There was also talk about creating ways to report hazing, more education, and even automatic dismissal.
What we're trying to do is to prevent it. No one wants to see their kid being walked with chains off to prison. So our push and our goal is to change the culture and to push the zero tolerance so that we can prevent that from ever happening.
It's a new era in the anti-hazing efforts. We are going to eradicate hazing. Collins Law is really important because previously hazing was a 4th-degree misdemeanor. Now, acts of hazing that involve alcohol and drugs and create a substantial risk of physical or mental harm now becomes a 3rd-degree felony. If you haze or you permit hazing, or you fail to report hazing, and that creates a substantial risk of physical or mental harm, you're going to face lengthy jail sentences and substantial fines. But the biggest issue, if you're a kid, you will be in the criminal justice system, you will be out of school, it will follow you for the rest of your life, they will spend time in prison. They will have severe financial consequences to themselves and their families. It'll be a felony on their record. It'll be seen by every prospective employer. They will have an extremely difficult time getting back into another college. This is not a one-time and you're okay, learn your lesson kind of thing. Prosecutors are not messing around anymore. They're just not. And so Collins Law now gives prosecutors the teeth they need to pursue these claims. And Collins Law also gives the universities the vehicle they need to really impose severe sanctions against anybody that hazes.
It can happen to any student. The piece of him passing was in a window of 60 minutes. And I don't think any student at this point is going to understand that in less than 60 minutes, you could lose your life.
A million years, we never thought this would happen. So as a parent, you need to educate yourself. You as a parent need to get involved and make sure that you're researching it.
We just want hazing to end. We want these kids to have great college experiences. We don't want any more deaths, and we don't want any more injuries. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see some examples. We're going to see some kids carted off to prison, some teachers and administrators losing their jobs and their careers. I think when we talk about the new era of anti-hazing efforts in the state of Ohio, I think you have to combine Collins Law with the Inter-University Council principles that were just adopted, zero tolerance for hazing. So we believe that the 14 largest public universities in the state of Ohio are going to adopt these principles. They have. And it's just my absolute hope and prayer that every jurisdiction follows.
You know, it's kind of left, you know, another hole in my heart. You know, I kind of think of my heart as a puzzle, and my puzzle will never be completed. I won't get to make any more memories, go on any more trips, have any more laughs with him, which is very hard.
I miss the father-son time. As he was growing up and I was first-time dad, we kind of learned things together. I was learning how to be a dad at the same time Stone was, you know, learning to be a little boy.
It's a culture change, and we know that's huge, but we are also fighting for the lives of these young adults. We don't want this to happen to them, and we don't want any family member to have to go through what we've been through.
Okay, did you start CPR? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
So I know that video's not too easy to watch, especially hearing the 911 call. For our family, it takes us back to that night. Stone's last night had to be extremely frightening for him. Being blindfolded, forced to drink, vomiting, losing control, and then begging to go home. As Stone's father, the one thing that bothers me the most is that this brotherhood was more interested in their own lives than my son's. As a couple of the young men, they took Stone home to his apartment and then left him behind. The impact of Stone's death has been deep and wide. We would not be in front of you today if Stone were not hazed. But because of that, we want to share with you the impact of his death so you can see and hear the impact that it has caused. So today I brought our two children with us, AJ and Jersey. Can you come on up?
Stone was our brother. We miss him a lot. It's very hard for us to put into words together to describe what it is like to lose him the way he did. So we created a video to help express our thoughts and feelings that we both had. Play the video.
I first heard about Stone when I woke up and saw my neighbor in the living room. So then my aunt got there and told me that Stone was very sick and that we needed to go to the hospital. When I first saw Stone, I had a lot of emotions. I felt weird. I felt angry, scared, upset, sad. I didn't really know what was happening. I was wondering what was going to happen, how was this going to go, what was I supposed to do. Stone died from being forced to drink. He got hazed and he was forced to drink in a certain amount of time. The hardest thing since Stone died is not being able to talk to my friends about it because they don't understand what I'm going through, and also not being able to spend time with Stone. The things I missed that I did with Stone together was probably when we would run over to the hot tub when it was freezing cold out and we would spend time in the hot tub together, or when we did TikToks together and we would dance. And my favorite was when I would be scared and I would spend time in his room. I miss having a big brother that would take care of me and protect me. I miss Stone when he would be right by my side, give each other hugs, or when he would pick on me or I'd pick on him. I miss talking to him.
The night that I first heard about Stone, I woke up and got the news from Maddie, his girlfriend, and I was devastated. I was in shock. I couldn't really comprehend what was going on. It was hard to realize what truly happened and to understand what actually was the case. It was hard because the drive there was very long. Sitting in the car of just straight silence and none of us knowing if he was going to make it or not was just really, really devastating. Before Stone passed, I had no clue what hazing was. I realize now that hazing is abuse. It's something that can kill you in seconds. In Stone's case, he was forced to drink too much alcohol that his body couldn't handle, no matter if it's alcohol or being forced to do something. Hazing is just not the right thing to do, and it's just not okay. My life changed when Stone passed. It changed the most of just not being able to create more memories. I'd say just him being in presence, having him tell me like life experience, things that he could help me with, talking to him about how college is going to be, things to do, things not to do. There's days that I will be sitting down in class, or certain things that go on throughout the day that I get a certain memory popping up in my head, or I just hear his voice, or the main thing is the last conversation that I had with him. We're at El Vaqueros, and we were all just sitting down ordering our food, and we all had our Heyday game out on our phones, and we were all comparing our levels and how much better each and one of us were. It's just hard to picture that in mind, that was the last thing, was a memory to me now that I will never forget.
Our next guest is just like you. She's a student, sophomore, pursuing her communication degree at Bowling Green State University, Maddie Borhall. Maddie was Stone's girlfriend. Maddie was the last one to hold our son in her arms at his last moments. So I'd like Maddie to come up, and if you could, please listen to her message with an open heart.
Have fun. Please be safe. Call me if you need me. I'll take care of you if you are too drunk. I love you. He sent me a text back, and that was the last time I ever got a notification from his phone. Hey, Stone is here on the couch. I don't know what to do. Can you come? That was Wade's phone call. I remember running up the apartment stairs. We thought he was just drunk. He is going to be fine. He can puke, and tomorrow he will feel better. That's what we all think, right? Tomorrow will be better. Well, my tomorrow was worse. I met Stone in one of my classes online. I remember remarking to my roommate how perfect he looked. I was going to meet him. I knew we had to be together. It was the fastest connection I ever had with someone. I knew he was very special from the beginning. I just didn't know how special he was going to be. Stone was kind. I saw him put others before himself. He was the type of guy who looked bold and confident, but who instead is quiet, soft-spoken. Once you got to know him, he was loud and giggly. He had soothing eyes that you would look at and not be able to look away. Stone cared deeply. And just as any college student, he cared what people thought and how he made people feel. I remember him telling me, "I want Pike." Now, I am not one to hide what I feel, so I remember telling him, "Why Pike?" It didn't make sense. The worst fraternity on campus. I remember messing with him about it. Not Pike, that one's the worst. Not completely shutting down his ideas, but openly showing my disapproval. As time went on and he began Pike's new member education, his experience with this fraternity became worse. He was tormented, made fun of by older members. More than I can remember, he would come home from these events crying to me, and I sometimes had to hold him until he calmed down. When I was younger and I heard of hazing, I heard that a person could die, but I have never heard of all the mistreatment that leads up to the death. As I learned more about hazing, I realized everything that Stone went through, before and during the meetings, and everything leading up to that night was all hazing. As much as I encouraged him to walk away from Pike and not to care what these boys had to say, nothing would make Stone budge. He was committed. hazing, the imposition of strenuous, often humiliating, and sometimes dangerous tasks imposed on members of an organization. Hazing is not just someone dying, but it can be. I clear the stairs and open the door. My eyes fall on Stone. He is on his side. His breathing is steady, but not strong. I ask Wade what he drank. He doesn't know. I assess the situation and begin examining him. I need to analyze everything, his health, and the variables of his life that will be drastically changed after dialing 3 numbers. I look up and grab my phone and tell my friends, we need to call 911. Are you sure? What about Pike? Would you hesitate? If Stone goes to the hospital and gets his stomach pumped and he is fine, will this fraternity even accept him? Would they hurt his mental health and harm him even more, wreaking havoc on him because of an investigation that his drunken state caused? Would I be the girlfriend known as a snitch? I have those thoughts, momentarily of course, as I know just about every single one of you would, but I don't hesitate. If he does end up okay, he will be okay because I chose to call. His life, I value more over the judgment of people, so I dial. What I didn't know at the time was how long they left him lying on the couch in his apartment by himself. If they had stayed and been with him, it could have ended differently. I didn't know what he had drank and how short of a time they forced him to drink it. His organs were on the brink of failure, and I was calling, hoping to be able to save him. Call starts out slow. I stay steady, reporting information when asked. I am leaning over him, running my fingers through his hair as he lays on his side. Then I hear his breathing become more shallow. I'm still on the phone. I lean down and realize his ear has begun to discolor. Am I imagining that? No, I wish I was. My voice becomes shaky, and then the operator asks me, is he breathing? I stop breathing, and I shut down right alongside him. You can blame me for not acting fast enough, for not calling 911 before I even entered the door. You can blame me for not being able to give him CPR, and instead praying over him as if God could only save him now. But I couldn't do more than I did. Having gone to 3 CPR training programs throughout my short life, it did not prepare me to perform CPR on someone I loved. Wade takes the phone. He moves Stone's limp body onto his back and begins following the operator's instructions on resuscitation. I begin wailing. A million thoughts are in my mind. I can't even go into that night or the following days that I was in the hospital with his family, begging for a miracle, for brain activity. Hope was what I held on to, not hatred towards the ones who were supposed to protect Stone and be his friends, and instead, they ripped his future away. I stood up for Stone that night. Maybe if someone stood up for him at the initiation event, then he would still be sitting right next to me now, telling you how he barely made it out alive. But no one did stand up for Stone. No one spoke a word when he was put on his couch and left to die. This whole situation is raw. Am I being dramatic? No, I wish I was over-exaggerating. Unless you have lost someone you love intimately, and they die right in front of you, in the most avoidable death, with your last image of them laying in front of you blue, you cannot call me dramatic. Things still trigger me. When someone dies, you're constantly reminded of them, even a year later. I get a whiff of his cologne from a stranger, and I turn, expecting to see his face. and his arms outstretched to hug me, tell me he is okay. And instead, I am met with a stranger's soft nod and acknowledgement of my empty stare in his direction, and I feel like breaking down. Stone's death affected the college. It affected his high school, his community back at home, his neighbors, his classmates waiting to see him in class. Even the boys in his fraternity, the ones that actually liked Stone. And most importantly, his friends, his family, and me. His parents, who raised him, watched him grow, set him off to a place he was supposed to blossom. And all that nurturing and loving and sleepless nights raising a child are all stripped away by one single bottle of alcohol that he had no choice but to drink. Stone was hazed far before the event itself. This occurred by the names he was constantly called, remarks that were made on his interests, and other deep wounds. Now you may be thinking, my skin is thick enough for that. Stone was just sensitive. But honestly, everyone has a breaking point. When has the harassment gone too far? But we all sugarcoat hazing, renaming it to this modern day term. But it isn't just hazing. It is the deliberate attack on someone's mental and physical health. It is bullying. Let's pick apart all the myths of hazing that we have heard before. Hazing builds character. No. Building character is men and women around you, supporting you, and setting healthy examples of what maturing looks like. Hazing can be practiced by good people. No. If you do what was done to you and choose to continue the cycle of hazing and bullying, you are just as bad as the person who started it. And the worst myth of all, hazing can't kill everyone. No. There is no one that could have drank the exact same amount and type of alcohol as Stone did and wouldn't have suffered from organ failure. You always believe it won't happen until it does. Someone you love could be the next one on the news, the next death by hazing. When you see hazing, no matter how minor it may appear, address it. Stand up for the people who are affected. Give Stone the voice he never had. Give the parents a chance to see their child turn 25, the siblings time to strengthen their bonds, and their significant other more time to love them. If you have learned or heard anything that affected you today in any way, hold on to that. Whether it's anger, sadness, confusion, panic, whatever it is, cling to that and save the next person who needs to be saved.
Thank you, Maddie. Without getting into any more of the details, as the criminal case is still ongoing, we wanted to share the Fultz family message. We actively support the following: zero tolerance. Any individual or organization that hazed is removed from the university permanently. Transparency. Transparency in the hazing incidents. Collect the data and report it on your university's website so the parents and students have access to the information. Increase education. Increased education both for college students and high school students on hazing, alcohol poisoning, and drug overdose. Stone was not a heavy drinker, but the volume, the percent of alcohol, and the time frame he was required to drink it all contributed to his death. Mandatory reporting by faculty, administration, and students. If you see it, report it. And then severe criminal penalties across the United States. Hazing must be a felony everywhere. These 5 themes are our message, and our foundation will do everything possible to make change. So now I'd like to invite up Stone's aunt, DJ Williams, to give a little bit more on the educational piece. DJ?
Thanks, Corey. What you've heard up to now is Stone's story and how it impacted our family. We'd like to turn your attention now to the education component of the program, and it's about dangerous effects of alcohol and understanding the legal ramifications of hazing that Rex will talk us through. Dr. Heath Joliffe is not here with us tonight. He's the Director of Medical Toxicology from Mid-Ohio Toxicology Services. He was unable to join us today, but he created this presentation for us to share with you.
Let's talk a little bit about alcohol. To make sure everyone's on the same page, I'll start with some basics, or Alcohol 101. Common types of alcohol-containing drinks are beer, wine, and liquor. If you were served a glass of wine, a can or bottle of beer, or a mixed drink, which one contains the most alcohol? How many people think it's the wine? How many people think it's the beer? How many people think it's the cocktail? Great. Let's see which one is correct. Each of these drinks are referred to as a standard drink. This means each contains the same amount of alcohol, which is 0.6 ounces of 100% ethanol. So 5 ounces of wine has the same amount of alcohol as 12 ounces of beer, which has the same amount of alcohol as 1.5 ounces of liquor or a shot. However, be aware that cocktails can have more than 1 shot of alcohol in them, and draft beer can have a higher than 5% alcohol content. Of course, you can also order a beer that's larger than 12 ounces. You can purchase liquor in several different size bottles. Commonly, you'll see a fifth, which is 750 milliliters of alcohol, or about 16 shots. A liter contains 1,000 milliliters of alcohol, or 22 shots, and even larger sizes like a handle is just 1.75 liters, or 39 shots of alcohol. You will note on liquor bottles, the alcohol percent is often listed as proof. Proof is double the percent of alcohol, so 80 proof is 40% alcohol. So consuming a standard drink that we just talked about will raise your blood alcohol level on average of 0.02%. This will differ depending on your weight, your height, and your gender. In the United States, a person 21 and over who is driving with an alcohol level of 0.08% or higher is considered DUI or OMVI, driving under the influence of alcohol. However, for most college students who are under the age of 21 and not legally allowed to buy or consume alcohol, that level falls to 0.02%, or the same as one standard drink. So let's talk a little bit about drinking and blood alcohol levels. As I mentioned, one standard drink will raise your blood alcohol level about 0.02%. So if you have 4 drinks in an hour, 4 times 0.02% is 0.08%. That's the legal limit for driving. So now you have a blood alcohol level of 0.08%. Your body has a limited ability to break down alcohol. We call this metabolism. Your body metabolizes about 0.01% of the alcohol each hour. So if we subtract this from your current blood alcohol level of 0.08%, in 1 hour, your alcohol level will be 0.07%. So now you decide to have 4 more drinks in the next hour. Remember, your blood alcohol level is now 0.07%. You have 4 more drinks in the next hour. Again, 4 times 0.02% is 0.08%. So when you add that to your current blood alcohol level, your new blood alcohol level is 0.15%, almost double the DUI level in just 2 hours. So what does it mean to be impaired by alcohol? It is simply being unable to do the things you could normally do before you consumed alcohol. As the level of alcohol in your blood increases, you become more impaired to do common things. Remember, one standard drink will raise your blood alcohol level about 0.02%. So at a level of 0.02 to 0.05, Your fine coordination is off. You're actually impaired to drive a car. A level of 0.05 to 0.1, your judgment and overall coordination is impaired. 0.1 to 0.15, you have difficulty with balance, walking, and may even fall. 0.15 to 0.25, you become very tired, lethargic, often unable to sit upright without assistance. A level of 0.3, you become unconscious or comatose, unable to be waken up. Levels greater than 0.3, you risk respiratory depression, unable to breathe, and even death. That's 15 drinks. So how do you know when your friend has had too much to drink? Well, vomiting is a great start. It's your body's way to tell you, enough already, stop drinking. Other things to consider is slurred or repetitive speech. People keep saying the same things over and over again. Losing control of emotions, uncontrolled laughing, crying for no reason, or getting overly angry at little things. Lack of balance, coordination, or even falls. Unable to concentrate or focus, being confused, unable to remember simple things or simple things that just happened, lowered inhibitions, doing things they might not normally do. What can you do to help your friend? First, stop them from drinking. This may be difficult or even unpopular. Ask for help if you need it. If your friend is awake enough and not vomiting, have them drink some water and eat some food. Importantly, get your friend out of the situation and home safely. What resources do you have on campus to do this? Walk home with your friend, shuttle bus, taxi, rideshare? And very importantly, stay with them or find someone who can. You will need to make sure your friend is okay until they are sober, and they will need rechecked often. When is it time to get help? First, you're not trying to get someone in trouble, including yourself. Call for help if you ever feel uncomfortable or your friend has any of the following. They have continued vomiting. They have injuries that may have resulted from their drinking. They have seizures. They have stupor or mental confusion. They're unconscious and you can't wake them up. They have slow breathing, which is less than 8 breaths a minute, or irregular breathing, greater than 10 seconds between breaths. Simply call 911 or your campus emergency services. Explain the situation. Remember, you may be the one who saves your friend's life.
I know there was a lot of math in that, right? But I know there's one thing that I learned from this that I did not know, and I'm old. I did not realize that your body did not process it as fast as what he's saying, right? So if your blood alcohol goes up by 0.02, you can only metabolize half of that in an hour. So when you force someone to drink, I don't care what size you have, you force someone to drink 80 proof alcohol in 20 minutes worth of time. And all of you guys out there that think that you can drink multiple bottles, I promise you, you never drank it that fast and survived. Stone had to drink it within 20 minutes. We're lucky there weren't other pledges that also died that night. So if nothing else, learn this tonight, right? You got to pay attention to the people that are out there that are drinking. That could be your friend. You don't know how much they had. That's what happened to Maddie, right? She didn't know how much he had, didn't know how much he drank, didn't know what kind he drank, didn't know what the situation was. But those brothers did. And they still left him. So think about what legacy you want to leave. So that's it on the alcohol side. We're going to have Rex Elliott come up and talk about the legal ramifications of hazing.
As DJ said, my name's Rex Elliott. My law firm is Cooper Elliott. And for a little more than a decade, I have been representing kids who have been physically and emotionally permanently scarred for life through acts of hazing. And I've had the misfortune of representing wonderful, extraordinary families like the Fultz family, like this one, when some of the kids that are subjected to these acts of hazing are not lucky enough to survive. The reality is, my mission from here on out in my career is to never have another death or injury on a college campus in this country. And I'm here tonight to talk to you about the very real consequences to hazing that I've seen over the year, real life examples. I feel like at this point I've seen it all. However, I will tell you that every single case shocks me because I see new and more egregious acts of hazing. I've seen it all, from the less dangerous acts of hazing, such as sleep deprivation, doing homework and taking tests for actives, cleaning rooms, running errands. What you have to understand about those smaller acts of hazing is that they graduate to larger acts of hazing. We've seen those too. New members, pledges being forced to consume disgusting concoctions of food and chewing tobacco and deodorant and shaving cream and all kinds of disgusting ramifications. We've seen new members and pledges that are forced to drink the urine of active members or to lick the toilets clean or the shower floors clean. I've seen extraordinarily dangerous acts, pledges being forced to swim across wide rivers with strong currents in the middle of the night after being forced to consume alcohol. I've seen incidents where pledges have been forced to jump from moving cars to get points in some sort of ritualistic competition. I've seen lots of beatings. Did you show the slide, DJ? Okay. We had a slide of an individual, a client of ours, who had literally been beaten from his shoulders down to his ankles. He was a 6'4" baseball player. He was beaten with wooden paddles with nails and screws, metal nails and screws put into the paddle to make the pain even more excruciating. Seen examples of pledges that are forced to play a game of football, hallway football, 20 feet from each other, running head-on, colliding heads that have led to fractured skulls and staples in their brains. They're senseless acts of hazing. And you may sit here and say to yourself, that's all nice, but it's never going to happen to me. One of the most shocking statistics I've heard is that there has been a hazing death on a college campus in the United States of America every single year since 1959, with the exception of 2020, when many kids weren't on campus and they weren't allowed to congregate. It's a very serious problem, and it can happen to you. Now, you probably say to yourself, well, what are we doing about it? Well, what I can tell you is that states all across the country are enacting laws, anti-hazing laws, that are getting tougher and tougher. You heard in the video about Ohio's law, elevating hazing to felonies. In Stone's case, there will be a criminal trial in May, and I strongly believe that there will be a number of Pike active members that will go to jail for lengthy prison terms. In the state of Michigan, you have a law here as well. It's called Garrett's Law. Garrett's Law defines hazing very broadly. It's anything that essentially you're requiring a pledge to do that can subject them to any type of physical or emotional harm. It applies to any student organization. So we're talking a lot today about fraternities. It applies to any student organization, athletic teams, marching bands, any group that congregates on a campus. Any act of hazing in the state of Michigan that results in any physical injury at all, you are at least going to be charged with a high misdemeanor, which carries a 93-day prison sentence. If your act of hazing leads to physical impairment, the prison sentence is 5 years. If the act of hazing results in death, the prison sentence in the state of Michigan is 15 years. Now, some of these statutes have been on the books for a long time, but I'm here to tell you, prosecutors around the country are extraordinarily serious about enforcing these laws today. A few years ago, prosecutors in this country were perfectly fine leaving campus issues to the campus security and student life folks. Not anymore. They are prosecuting these crimes actively. In the state of Michigan, if you haze, you're very possibly going to be charged with felonies that will haunt you for the rest of your life. As you heard in the video and from Corey, in the state of Ohio, the 14 largest public universities have adopted zero tolerance to hazing, which means one strike and you're out. And I truly believe that it's our mission to get every university in this country to adopt zero tolerance for hazing. They're senseless acts. They're useless. They don't make boys into men or girls into women. They don't create brotherhood or sisterhood. So you would think with all these tougher laws and zero tolerance and prosecutors getting serious about enforcing these statutes that we'd see fewer and fewer acts of hazing. Well, I can tell you that since Stone Fultz's death in March of 2021, which was national news, we have had a handful of deaths on college campuses in this country, and we've had 30 fraternities on college campuses suspended and expelled for good for very serious acts of hazing. At Texas A&M, pledges were forced into a barn and showered with raw eggs and food and paint and all kinds of concoctions, and then they were sprayed off with industrial strength cleaner. 2 of those pledges had such severe burns all over their body that they had to go through extremely painful, disfiguring skin graft surgeries. At Lyon College down in Batesville, Arkansas, a baseball hazing ritual that they did every year resulted in the death of a baseball player due to alcohol poisoning. At Michigan State University, on initiation night, pledge initiation night, EMS arrived to the fraternity house to 4 passed out pledges, one of whom was dead on arrival at the emergency room. At the University of Missouri, the Fiji chapter, one of the pledges had a heart attack due to severe alcohol poisoning. And at New Hampshire, a pledge after a heavy night of ritualistic drinking was found dead in a marsh on campus. All those acts have in common the fact that they occurred after the death of Stone Fultz. It makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. What I can tell you in 2022 is that if you haze, you are potentially going to be in the criminal justice system. You'll be charged with crimes, potentially felonies. You will be expelled from your university. That will go on your transcript and follow you anywhere else you try to get in. You'll have a heck of a time getting in another credible university, certainly not one as credible as this university. You will be in the civil justice system. You will be sued for the harm that you've caused. Your parents will suffer extraordinary financial consequences because they will have to hire criminal defense lawyers and civil defense lawyers to bail you out of trouble. It will literally follow you for the rest of your life. You walked onto this campus with dreams of an incredible future and a very happy life. And a few seconds of absurdity could change your life forever. I'm asking you, I'm begging you to be part of the solution to this very real problem. And it's simple. Don't haze. Don't allow yourself to be hazed. And if you see hazing, report it. Because if you do that, you may be saving the life of a friend, a roommate, a classmate, or somebody that you don't even know. Let your legacy here at Adrian College be the fact that you are part of the generation that eliminates hazing from college campuses forever. Never more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rex. Few takeaways. Stand up and save lives. Your life matters more than any group or team. Hazing is abusive and it's senseless. It is dangerous and it can kill.
So our ask of you, students, stop hazing. Athletes, Greek life, just stop. It adds zero value to your team. I had a conversation with a Greek life underclassman just this past week. The young man told me when he was questioning the group about the actions, he then became the target. He was told, seriously? Don't be a sissy. I knew this younger group was weak. So upperclassmen in athletics or in Greek life, in band or in any organized group, upperclassmen, step up and stop hazing. Your generation is the one that can make this change in the culture. Help each other walk away. Be strong and have courage. Terrible things will happen, but it's how you handle them that makes the difference, sometimes between life and death. Call 911, take someone to the hospital. Don't just take them back to their apartment and leave them alone. Leaders and coaches of fraternities, athletic teams, band, all group leaders, faculty, staff, university leaders, stop pretending it's not happening. It's out there. And parents, research. Parents and family, research extensively. If it's the Greek organization your child's wanting to join, visit our website, iamstonefoltz.com. Use our resources to help you investigate. Or just do a simple Google search of the organization that you're wanting to join. Add death behind the organization's name. It's scary. You can even go on the web and look underneath Hank Newer's site. It logs all fraternity deaths. So if you need help, please reach out to us through our website. We'll be glad to help you.
We hope tonight has been beneficial to all of you. Now we would like to open it up to questions. Mr. Mahoney? Oh, Mr. Docking.
We're going to do time for questions and answers, but I know that we've reached our time, and so Jim had some questions. If you have questions, I'm sure that these folks would be available up here to answer questions, and obviously you can email them to Jim or myself or Cindy Bobian or whatever, and we can pass it on to this family. You know, I think how I'd like to end it is this.
Let us do it.
Obviously, you've seen a family that has gone through an unspeakable tragedy. And many of you have been through tragedies. You've lost loved ones, you've lost parents, sisters, brothers, etc. And when that happens to you, you search for something good to come out of it. Any little bit of redemption that can take this sadness and find some good in it. What they've decided to do, and their son died less than 1 year ago, this is the first time they've ever done this publicly, is to speak to you. And the joy and the small bit of happiness that they can find in this situation is believing that you will go out and be that person who says, no, we're not going to do this. No, we're going to be smart. No, we're going to take the high road. No, we're going to be leaders. So that's what we want to get out of tonight. And that's why you're here. That's why they brought their whole family, was for all of you. And so I hope that you will think about this, use it to be a better person, a stronger person, a greater leader, and a more mature adult. Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to this family.
We have about a 13-second video.
We have one more thing.
One 13-second video, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right.
One
I'm
more
sorry
to
about
leave you
that. I
with,
didn't know.
right?
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you could, please stand up.
Stand up. Everybody stand up. There you go.
What would you do?
What would you do?
What would you do?
What would you do? Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up.
Save a life.
So thank you and be
you.
safe. We have a survey. Please take it with your cell phone, if you could. It's only 7 questions. We'd love to have your feedback because we'd like to do better next time around. If you can't fill it out tonight, that's great. Take it and do it another time. But thank you guys for listening to our story.
Pretty good. You did good.
You did awesome. You did.